The most common question when it comes to building a conjugate program is how to choose your maximum effort lifts. But lucky for you, I'm gonna tell you exactly how to do that. So today, I'm gonna talk to you about max effort lower and how to choose your lifts. And I'm gonna give you two examples. One is somebody who's completely new to conjugate, and one is somebody who's been doing it for a while or is coming into a conjugate program with a decent amount of experience as a lifter in general. So let's do it. Beginners first. If you are a complete rank beginner coming in who wants to train conjugate, you're gonna rotate between 6 lifts. You are gonna have 3 types of squats and 3 types of deadlifts. And you're gonna alternate these as per the other videos I've made with the full programs every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on whether or not you believe you can keep making progress. So if you've done a squat, a variation week 1, you did it week 2 and you set a 10-pound PR and you're like, I almost died. Like that was a nearly religious experience. I don't have a chance to increase it next week. Then rotate it. If you hit a 10-pound PR and you're like, I think I got more. Keep it for a 3rd week, but it's 2 to 3 weeks, minimum, maximum per lift. So for beginners, your 3 types of squats are gonna be 1, a standard front squat. I don't care what grip you use, but it's just a straight up front squat. Number 2 is your typical back squat. However you would back squat normally. If you like low bar, wide stance, high bar, wide stance, high bar, narrow stance, whatever. However you're most comfortable squatting, that's your 2nd one. The 3rd one is gonna be a 12 to 14 inch box squat. If you are shorter than 5'10", 5'11", 12 inches. If you're taller than that, 14. Going into deadlifts, very simple. You're gonna have a conventional deadlift, a sumo deadlift, and you're gonna have a low rack pull. So under knee height, mid shin to just under your knees, I don't really care, but it's gonna be a low rack pull. And you're gonna alternate these squat, deadlift as you go through your movements. So if it's 2 to 3 weeks of a squat movement, next is deadlift. And I don't care what order you do them in, but you're gonna go through all 6 of these before you start back at the beginning. Next, if you are more advanced, you've been doing this for a little bit, you're an experienced lifter, you know your body, okay? You have to know your body for what I'm about to tell you. If you don't know your body, just do what I just said, turn off the video, forget it. If you know your body, then you're gonna have some choices to make. And there's gonna be 3 things you pick between, 4. I'll tell you, you're gonna hear them. Number 1 is you're gonna pick 2 types of squats. So you're gonna pick between a box squat and a non-box squat or a free squat. Now the rules here, for the box squat, pick any one you want. I do not care, but you should have a reason why you picked it. For every single list in the more advanced category, there should be some reason you believe you're picking it. It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong, but you should have a theory as to what it's gonna do for you, based on a weakness you've noticed, based on a goal you have. There's something that you're looking at, like this lift should do this, and then you're gonna see if it works. You're gonna use that information to make more choices in the future. So 1, box squat. Number 2 is a free squat, but it cannot be your typical squat. So if you're a low bar, wide stance squatter, you're picking any free squat that isn't that. I don't care if you use accommodating resistance. I don't care if you use reverse bands. I don't care if you pause it. It's something other than your typical squat. Next is a deadlift. So the deadlift, same thing, you're gonna have 2 variations. One is gonna be a raised deadlift. So some type of rack pull from, again, up to you. Maybe it's mid shin, maybe it's raised 2 inches off the ground, maybe it's 6 inches off the ground. Whatever's gonna make sense for you, but 1 type of raised deadlift and then a deficit deadlift. And you're gonna do those in whatever style makes sense for you. I probably wouldn't do either of them sumo. The raised deadlift I might, but you're gonna have to figure that out. Conventional or sumo, whatever makes sense for you, but 1 raised and 1 deficit. Next, you're gonna pick a good morning, and you don't have any options here. You're gonna do a good morning from the pins. So you're gonna take the good morning out, lower down to a dead stop, and come back up. I recommend starting from the top. It's brutal to try to get under a bar and good morning from the bottom. So you start at the top, but you're gonna come down to pins or chains. You're gonna dead stop at the bottom every time. And the last lift, because you're gonna have 6 to rotate through the exact same way. The last lift is something fun or an interesting experiment you wanna run. You've seen something cool on the internet, you wanna try a farmer's deadlift, a trap bar, you want an overhead squat, you wanna try reverse bands and chains, and you wanna chew bubblegum while you do it. I don't care. You're gonna pick something interesting to you that you're excited to try and experiment with it and see what happens. And those are how you figure out your max effort lower movements between those 2 categories. That's it. I feel like there's more I should say. There isn't. Go pick your lifts, have fun, crush it.